last April in 2022 to the Windsor Express. But a win here tonight in the Forest City would mean that the Jackals will have a victory where they've never had it before, and that's north of the border.
All right, game on here. Let's get the real throw-up going here.
Taekwon Gord goes up against Kerr. Kerr wins the opening tip-off in his debut, and away we go here on your Saturday night. International fun here in this interleague battle. Jamestown Jackals from the state of New York taking on the London Lightning here in the province of Ontario. Jermaine Haley, fresh from his G League experience, almost has his pass interrupted. The newcomer in Kerr gathers the ball. Shot clock's expiring. Our player to watch in Amir Williams can't get this to go down. Josh Dominguez had the rebound, left it to a teammate in Ryan Montoya. Montoya will be guarded by a fellow 11 in Burns. Feed a teammate. Splash as Dominguez has the opening bucket of the game.
Yeah, they really like their three-pointers based on their stats in the league as well, right? I think they shot over 33 pointers, you said, their last game.
Well, they shot 90 from the field, 30 of which were from beyond the arc. But, John, they only made 8. That was a 26.7% conversion rate.
Yeah, that needs to come up.
Thomas, long two ball, grazes the rim but goes out of bounds. Going back to Josh Dominguez, he had 4 years at Wingate. That's a Division II program in the NCAA, where he started 47 of 96 games, over 2,200 minutes of court time for the North Carolina native. And Wingate are known as the Bulldogs, John.
You certainly do your homework. I say that every night, but you are impressive.
Amir Williams on the rebound, and it's the two champions, if you will, that have rejoined the team here in 2023, working it up the court. And now it's Kerr. Hammer time for the newcomer.
Sharing is caring was your key to the game, right, that you had mentioned? Absolutely. First assist of the night.
Trying to retaliate here is Montoya. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound pops out to the Canadian and Haley. To a fellow Canadian and Thomas. Nylon ripper for 3.
2, foot on the line, and the referee put his arm down. Another assist, though. Nice pass by Haley. Good timing.
Very good point, though, partner, as it's just a 1-point lead for the home team as we're 2 minutes into the contest.
Yeah, Haley brings some size down under as well. That's good ball handling, right? They really missed that. A little bit of more bulk down underneath.
Taekwon Gord kicks it out to his teammate. Can't
Great
get the 3 to go, though, and Roderick Finley, who's the Clinton product.
Long pass, but Williams could not handle it.
He was trying to spit it back to Jordan Burns on the near wing, but it's a turnover favoring Jamestown.
That's one thing I did say last game, and we've been saying it together for the last number of games. They still had 16 turnovers, even though they had 27 assists. To me, that turnovers need to get down to about 12 or 13 max per game.
Taekwon Gord to his teammate. Dominguez has already hit a 3 in this game, but can't make this one. 2-on-2 basketball back the other way, led by the East Preston, Nova Scotia native. And they're going to say fouling him is Gord. I don't know if that's the right call.
I'd like to see that one. I thought that was perfect timing. Right over the right shoulder. I thought that was a good play.
And again, as I mentioned, the head coach of the Jamestown Jackals is Raheem Radio Singleton. He played for the St. John's Riptide, Windsor Express,
have a look here. Yeah.
Island Storm, and London Lightning between 2013 and 2016.
Oh, as the elbow came across the face of Terry Thomas there, that's why they called that.
So Thomas does make his first from the line. Back on Thursday night, he was 5 of 8 from the charity stripe in the 103-85 victory, where he accumulated 17 points and 6 rebounds over 33 minutes of action. But he did turn over the ball, John, 3 times in the process.
Yeah, I'm going to keep harping on it as a commentator. It's been my observation that turnovers have been the Achilles heel for the London Lightning.
2 is pulled up. It won't go down. Josh Dominguez has taken 3 of his team's first 4 shots in this game. He has made 1 from beyond the arc, John, but still somebody else has got to get involved in the action. Elijah Lufiel now onto the court. Passes it to a fellow Canadian in Jermaine Haley. Rolls it down low to Lufiel. The big man trying to rumble. Doesn't like his options. Kicks it back out to Haley. Pass intercepted instead. The Wingate product, Dominguez, again trying to pull up a shot. I'm not trying to chirp him, John. It could be a game plan, but he doesn't really be looking for any passes on these last couple possessions.
No, they're looking for the quick hitters, what they're looking for. Nice pass again, just couldn't hang on to it.
So Kerr Jean-Couch could not handle the ball from Haley. Now, if you notice, Jean-Couch is actually
wearing a terrific from behind block.
He's wearing Chris Jones' old number 3 number. That's why it doesn't have the nameplate on it. I want to give a big shout out to Jake Beckett, the auxiliary staff member for the London Lightning. He was busy peeling off Cameron Lard's nameplate off the 2 jersey. And what does Kerr do? Doesn't even wear it. He wears Jones's old number 3.
Another turnover again. Just a little hesitancy and passing in traffic. The ball gets deflected. That's 3 quick turnovers already for London Lightning.
Did you see earlier when Terry Thomas appeared to wear something in the chops? He's actually going to take a seat on the bench right now. Looks like Marcus Otti's trying to check into this game.
And Nuga's in the game. Burns is out.
Jamestown's going to inbound here. It's Calvin Cheek on the near side. He's from Massachusetts and actually went to New England College with his NCAA 3 school. He played 5 years at New England College, started 111 out of 106 games, had 3,400 minutes in Division III basketball and over 1,300 points. And they're known as the Pilgrims, John, the New England College Pilgrims.
Maybe they right to near the landing spot where the Founding Fathers came. I don't know.
Where the Mayweather came across
the
deep blue sea in Columbus, 1743 or whatever.
Good drive to the hoop that time, drawing the foul from Newfield. Couldn't keep up with the foot speed.
Our 4:08 into this basketball game, John, we only have 8 points collectively between these two teams, and it stays at that, as not being able to make the first from the charity stripe is Taekwon Gord. As a team, the Jackals went to the line only 14 times against the Albany Patroons on Sunday, only made 8 shots. That's 57.1%. As Gord misses both here, he had an opportunity to tie the game at 5s. It remains a 5-3 game early. Jean Gouche to Lufiel. Now, interesting to note, if that goes in, a potential N1 play, instead it gets wedgied. Elijah Lufiel, the Canadian, is literally denied by the rim.
Some good interior passing that time by Haley and Lufiel and Young Dooch. Is that how we're going to say it?
We're going to try to, we're going to keep trying to get
Young Cooch.
Extra, well, you know, like the 2024 Summer Olympics is in Paris. So maybe we just have to have more of a Paris accent to the end of it. Jean Gouche. It's going to take a couple games, Kerr, all right? You're just going to have to deal with that.
That's okay. We'll make it happen.
That's Lufiel is at the line. By the way, in that 103-85 victory over the Bobcats on Thursday night, Lufiel poured in 13 points, 11 rebounds for the double-double, John, but maybe more importantly for this category, it was only 50% from the charity stripe. Now, that was just 23 minutes off the bench, John. He had the double-double with the 13 points, 11 rebounds.
He's becoming a very important player for the Lightning and for Coach Doug Plum. He brings some muscle in there as well, some physicality.
Josh Dominguez made the opening 3 of the game for the Jackals here on the road as Nuga tries to hit a 3 of his own and he can't get it to go. But since then, John, Jamestown has missed 9 straight shots from the field, including 4 from beyond the arc. They're 1 of 10 in this game in total, 1 of 5 from downtown. Dominguez with the only make of the game.
Nuga with the block that time. That guy has got springs. I tell you, he jumps so high.
A bit of an opposite start to this game when you consider that the Lightning were actually down 12-3 to start the game to the Bobcats, despite outscoring Kokomo 32-17 in the final quarter of play. Still just 8 points between these two teams, John, as we are well over 5 minutes into the game.
His quickness of Nuga again gets that loose ball.
You mentioned his spring and his step. He feeds Adam Alita, and he hits it from downtown.
3-point specialist makes his first shot. He gets his shot off so quickly.
Alita went to Trinity College. That's a JUCO program. Then he actually went to Northern Kentucky Bryant in his NCAA Division I career. Back the other way with a head of steam, it is Taekwon Gord, the Marshall product at 6'7". Finally gets somebody else on the stat sheet rather than Josh Dominguez. So again, thanks for joining us here on your Saturday night. It is Cujo Entertainment bringing you this NBLC and TBL action as Audie zigzags his way to 2.
That's the other quick, right? You bring in Nuga and Audie together at so much speed on the guard position. The opposing teams have a hard time stopping on dribble penetration.
Well, Nuga got the rebound there, but it was actually a speed on defense earlier that seemed to disrupt the Jamestown offense. As Jermaine Haley is going to get the call here. I thought that could have been a charge.
I think it's a block, yeah. I think he fooled himself and the player that time with that quick drift to the right.
So it does look like a timeout is taken down on the court here with 5:50 remaining in the opening quarter. London enjoying a 10-5 lead here, John Van Hellingen.
I don't see Isom in his playing clothes there. He's sitting,
Nope.
looks like this game.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that in our starting five. Marika Isom is unavailable, joining Jeremiah Morty, Justin Jackson, and Cameron Lard, who, by the way, is no longer on the team. So again, for the Jamestown Jackals, they are making their Canadian debut in 2023. They'll immediately get another taste, though, of NBLC action tomorrow when they take on the KW Titans. Later in April, they will travel up to Sudbury to take on the 5 in 2 straight games on April 22nd and 23rd. Their lone other taste of Canadian competition came against the Windsor Express on April 29th of 2022. That was a heartbreaker. 198 was the final score.
Okay, so on paper, just bear with me for a minute. So, and no disrespect meant here to Jamestown Jackals, but on paper, this is a mismatch, correct?
Correct.
From what I see, like Jackals are, out of the 49 teams, are in the lowest 10 of scoring points per game. They don't score 100 points a game. They rely heavily on the three-pointer, which is inconsistent, as we know from last game. They got 4 players that are regulars that have not made it across the border, so they're playing with, 4 or 5 players that haven't really played together. So on paper, London looks much stronger record. They got 2 returning veterans, Amir Williams and Jermaine Haley. So on paper, I would expect London to win this game. And so what would Coach Doug Plum's strategy be this game? To me, it's got to start making good habits, making the right plays, putting people in good positions. But to me, primary care is take care of the ball. Right now, they have more turnovers than they do assists already in the game.
Interesting to note that Jamestown, supposedly, according to the scorers table, has not turned over the ball yet in this game. But to your point, John, London has already turned over the ball 4 times in the first quarter.
Yeah, and it's mostly giveaways. It's not even a really great defense that has forced the turnovers or that they've stolen the ball. It's poor passing, poor timing.
The BC native Jermaine Haley, back on October 29th of 2022, would try out for the Cleveland Charge of the G League and play 6 games. On March 3rd of this year, the Grand Rapids Gold of the G League would claim him from the players' pool, and he would get another 3 games of action in. He played in 22 games last season as a London Lightning, had 304 points over 754 minutes. And going off of that last situation, John, he shot 76.8% from the charity stripe in the 2022 season. So the Jackals down by 7 here with 5:45 remaining in the opening quarter of play. Again, they are coming off of a close 90-86 loss to the Albany Patroons on Sunday. Great ball movement here. They rotated into the near corner. The 3 will rattle down for Tafari Beckford, our player to watch in a Jackals uniform.
Yeah, wide open look. Great passing around the perimeter. Finally got the defender unable to catch up the ball in the corner.
Beckford attended Davenport. That's a Division II school as the turnover leads. I was going to say to the easy bucket, but Calvin Cheek couldn't get the job done. Cheek trying to, well, I guess make up for his previous play as stepping out of bounds. Interesting, Cheek was trying to direct his teammate there, John, and Jonathan Parker, who is making his Jackals debut, and in the process, Jonathan with a J, there's also a Donathan with a D on the Jackals here tonight, stepped out of bounds.
Well, you see, I've looked at those lines so many times. Look at the corner.
You love
there.
the lines.
Well, see where the outside line is in the corner? Why is that line extended on the baseline? It's not over by the benches. Why is it over by the fans? So I think that throws off when you look down on the floor as a player.
From beyond the arc, as it is Tafari Beckford's pass intercepted by a fellow 1 in Marcus Audi. He'll feed Adam Alita. That's his second bomb from beyond the arc here on your Saturday night. He's leading everybody on the court with 6 points here early. So Jamestown down by 7, looking to avoid losing their 5th game in a row. Corner 3's away. It won't go, as again Jonathan Parker was trying to make up for stepping out of bounds earlier. Audi on the turnover, feeds the speedy Nuga, lost it and then got his pocket picked. We got a chance for some jam time the other way. Instead, it's going to be an easy peasy coast to the rack for Christian Guess. He had me guessing wrong, John,
well,
because I thought he was going to go for something fancy.
He did the fundamental play there. That's what I
like. You
like.
like that, but I
want
something clever. windmill, 360 between the legs.
Only when you're up by lots.
Yeah, I guess so. But it definitely would have gotten his bench going, John. As Marcus Audi engages with a fellow one in Beckford, feeds Alita, who goes down low to Williams. Williams kicked it off of himself, though, John, and back the other way comes Guess and the Jackals.
Unforced turnover.
Open look for Beckford. 3 won't go down. Amir Williams with another rebound. So again, Adams across midcourt. A much better start to this game than their last game, John. It was the Bobcats that started the contest on a 12-3 run. But remember, after a timeout called by Doug Plum, London did respond in the right way. As going hard down to the deck here. Watch out, big fella. Is number 25 rumbling down to the court. I hope he's okay.
Oh my, it's 3 more turnovers since we spoke last. 7 turnovers. I know I sound like a broken record, but I would be so frustrated as a coach. I'd be pulling my hair out. If I didn't have such thick, strong hair, it probably would come out.
Joseph Sullivan was the one that got spilt down to the deck. He's going to stay on the court, John. He's one of the 5 newcomers in a Jackals uniform, replacing the 5 that couldn't have crossed the border. Pulling up from long distance and rattling it down is Calvin Cheek, the Pilgrim from New England Collegiate College.
Yeah, the defender right in his face as well.
It looks like Kerr Janguch is ready to come back into this game at the scorer's table, but at midcourt, looks like Audi was stripped of it. Then he'll essentially be tackled down to the ground. Great sportsmanship, though, eventually showed by Sullivan, as there's a meeting of blue and yellow jerseys at midcourt.
Well, it all started because of the early giveaway that time. He got himself in trouble, did Audi. He recovered with good hustle diving on the floor, then he got fouled.
Well, turnovers have been raising your eyebrows, I would say, in the month of March here at Budweiser Gardens, John, and it continues here in this interleague international battle against the Jackals. Audi with 2:40 remaining in the opening quarter. Almost lost it again, and they're going to say he did, John. The Jackals have crawled back to 1 possession, and they got the ball in hand.
That's going to go down as another turnover, right? Ball stolen that time. That time, good defense stole the ball.
So it seems like the Jackals as a pack have woken up here in the latter half of the first half of the first quarter.
Good alliteration there. I like it.
Adams coming across midcourt. The Michigan native uses Amir Williams' screen, try to get it back to Williams. Almost lost it as the double team pressure by the Jackals seems to be effective here, John.
They're working hard right now, Jamestown Jackals.
Audi almost loses it. Adams feeling pressure, hastily gives it back to Audi. 3-ball won't go down, rebounded by the Jackals, and pulling it away from Amir Williams is Jonathan Parker.
Yeah, after that timeout, they come out with a lot of energy.
Calvin Cheek coasting up, can't get it to go. Another rebound for Amir Williams in this opening quarter of play. Alita, who's hot, finally cools down. He was a perfect 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. $1:40 now remains in the opening quarter. The Jackals looking to tie it up. They can't get this shot to go, but still a chance to tie it from the line for Jonathan Parker. So again, if you're a Jackals fan, no Magnus Richards, no Brandon McGee, no Demoria Jones, no Dante Law, and more importantly, I was looking forward to the block and rebound master they have in the 6'9" Kinshasa Democrat Republic of Congo native, Daniel Malamba.
Wow.
That's a big pace, both figuratively and literally out of the Jackals lineup. And as I was mentioning before, Tafari Beckford does seem to be the overall leader, and he is on the court for Raheem Singleton and the Jackals tonight, I should say. He's averaging 13.5 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 1.8 assists. And as a result, John is shooting a team-high 48.3% from the field. But again, the Congo member in Daniel Malamba is their leading rebounder and leading block getter at 8.2 and 1.3 respectively each game. He's not available for Singleton, their head coach.
Well, I'm looking at the sub-rotation for the London Lightning, wondering who is the point guard on this team. And we know that usually it's Burns, Nuga, or Audi.
Nice move by Haley on the baseline.
Who are the point guards, but in this case, the designated point guard is Jermaine Haley, the one that just scored on that drive. With this group of athletes that are on, there's a steal at half.
Haley protects the ball, plays a little keep away that time from Josh Dominguez, and it's back-to-back twos to the 10 for Jermaine.
Like I said, this is a great pickup for London Lightning, getting Haley back. Not only does he bring size, but he has good ball handling ability. He's smart on the court as well, and he can handle the ball as a point guard if you need him.
Into the final minute of the opening quarter, trying to go from the corner pocket is Calvin Cheek, who's now 1 of 2 from beyond the arc in the game. Amir Williams blows a jackal down to the court, and the aforementioned Dominguez, and the ball goes out of bounds.
A little better ball movement that time by London. Ball's moving a little quicker, and people are moving to the ball to catch it as well.
So Adams from the end line with 16 seconds left on the shot clock finds Jermaine Haley to Amir Williams.
Travel.
That won't count.
He did a little shuffle step so he didn't get a charge because the guy was waiting for him underneath.
Maybe they get away with that in Malaysia, where Amir Williams was playing professional basketball between last year's 2022 championship and joining the team again 3 games ago.
Go ahead, yeah.
We're just going to say half a minute to go here in the opening quarter. Getting some love off of the glass and rim is Calvin Cheek. Everybody's kind of getting on the scoreboard. Calvin Cheek now leads everybody in a Jackals uniform with 5 points. So pretty much the shot clock and game clock are identical. Amir Williams couldn't get the first shot to go. Whistle does blow underneath the basket.
He was trying so hard not to knock over the little guy that was underneath there, right? It was a big mismatch. He was worried he's going to call for a foul, and he missed the easy putback but got the rebound.
We think to the Jackals' 1-5 record, and I look to the 10 turnovers by the London Lightning in this opening quarter. How much do those 10 turnovers translate into the Lightning only currently having a 2-point lead?
How many points off of turnovers? I don't know how much it translates.
7-6 or 7-5, I beg your pardon, in favor of the Jackals. So it could be far worse, John.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that you turn the ball over 10 times, doesn't necessarily lead to points for the other team, but now you've lost 10 opportunities to score. So let's say you're shooting 45% from the field. That should be another 5 or 6 points on the board that you've just thrown away, given away because of your turnovers.
Amir Williams at the line, currently 1 for 1 from the charity stripe. Make that 2 for 2. He has 4 rebounds in the opening quarter, and he does have the 1 block. He had 8 blocks against the Kokomo, that's Bobcats with a K, on Thursday night. An awkward huck by Calvin Cheek. I don't know if you're going to add to your 5 points that way. It does conclude the opening quarter of play, though, John, and it's a 21-17 scoreboard. A little bit of a different start, though, in this international interleague battle. You think back to Thursday night, Kokomo shut out to a 12-3 lead. Doug Plum called a timeout, and London reciprocated with a 15-4 run of their own, where in this quarter, well, Lightning are having a commanding lead after the first 6+ minutes of play. In fact, these two teams only combined for 8 points over the first 5 minutes of game action, but yet after 12 minutes is done in the books, John, it's just a 4-point lead for the London Lightning.
Yeah, so I'm looking at Coach Doug Plum that whole first quarter. He sat on his chair the whole quarter, was very quiet. I think he's sort of trying to feel out where his newcomers are going to fit in and giving them some rope to play together as a team. Now, this game counts in the standings here for the National Basketball League of Canada, right?
And it counts for TBL, which I'll beg your pardon, John. I didn't realize until Cliff Livingston, gentleman that won 2 rings with Michael Jordan.
Yes, that's right.
Was coaching the Bobcats and said, no, young fella, they matter.
They do.
And
we didn't know that.
I want to give a shout out to the Bobcats. Not only did they lose a tough one by 18 points here to the London Lightning, but within 24 hours, they went on the road down to Toledo, Ohio, and beat the Glass City Wranglers to improve to 6-2 on the season.
Excellent. So these games do count in the standings. So to me, you know, even though on paper it's a mismatch, on the floor it never is until you prove it, right? So right now they're not proving it to me, the London Lightning, especially with 10 turnovers in 1 quarter. Unheard of.
So we saw the Kokomo from Indiana Bobcats on Thursday night, and tonight we see the Jamestown from New York State Jackals. Where is Jamestown? Well, it's roughly a 3.5-hour drive, 218 miles to upper New York State from the Forest City. Jamestown is in southern, I'm going to hopefully get this right, Chautauqua County, and in the U.S. state of New York, as I mentioned. The population was listed.
NFL, that's a big money league. Oh, goodness. And,
Too rich for your blood, John.
Well, and the owners have a lot of say, right? And so, yeah. Okay, enough said.
Enough said about Jamestown, New York.
Jamestown, yeah, I'm glad they're up here playing us.
I couldn't find out any like first. Remember with Kokomo, they had the mechanical corn
that's
picker,
right.
Ponderosa Steakhouse.
Yeah, no first there, right?
Combustible engine. I'm sure there was some first, just couldn't do enough digging in time.
Okay.
So we get into the second quarter of play. Nifty ball handling skills by Calvin Cheek, who's got 5 points.
Even better defense by Jermaine Haley, who's got 8 inches on him.
Tafari Beckford kicks it out. You can see a little more gusto in the sneakers right now as Tyler Rowe misses his opening shot of the night for Jamestown. Terry Thomas recovering the ball. Give and go between Jermaine Haley. Now finds Amir Williams. Williams with a size mismatch, trying to go right after Tafari Beckford. And Beckford, I love that, John. You're talking about a guy that's 6'5", going against a much bigger 6'11" and wider body of Williams. Yeah, he does get called for the foul, but fearless.
Didn't back off, no. A late call there as well.
So Amir Williams currently at the line. He's 2 of 2 from the evening. And again, going back to the game versus Kokomo, Amir was 6 of 7 from the charity stripe, but I guess they call that an announcer's jinx. Jamestown again coming off of a 90-86 loss to the Albany Patroons. That was on Sunday. They shot 38.9% as a team from the field, but just 26.7% from beyond the stripes. And here tonight, they're shooting 25% from beyond the arc, 3 of 12 currently in the game. They are down by 4, can cut it to a 1-possession lead here. That's Dominguez just grazing the front of the rim. Dominguez now 1 of 6 from the field, 1 of 4 from downtown. Remember, he made the opening shot of the game.
He did. Burns back on the floor. He is their primary point guard. See if the ball moves around a little better for London Lightning.
7 seconds left on the shot clock. Terry Thomas not liking what he saw, being guarded by Tafari Beckford. Great defense by Beckford, and it is Jamestown pulling the ball away. And we actually saw, the Kokomo Bobcats do this quite a bit. The whistle goes, and they go, well, this would be a cool opportunity to do something on the net. And you saw just at the very end there, I thought for sure Calvin Cheek was trying to do something there. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the game. Again, it won't count, but I love theatrical things when they happen.
So in my books, another turnover, shot clock violation as well. Terry Thomas hanging on to the ball far too long.
Tyler Rowe rotates this over to Tafari Beckford into the far side to Cheek. Cheek tried to feed his teammate that deflected though off of a lightning product before going in the lap of Christian Guest. So right now, Coach Singleton has Rowe and Christian Guest both on the court. Again, that's one of the 5 new faces in a Jackals uniform here up in Canada because over 5 players couldn't cross the border for TBL's Jamestown team. A little Steph Curry style action there from Calvin Cheek. Again, remember, whistle went way before. That wouldn't have counted, but some theatrical stuff after the whistle. We saw the Bobcats do the same thing.
Well, maybe they have more of a continuation call in that league than they do here.
You're going to count
That's
that.
possible.
Yeah, maybe. I noticed I was talking with Jake, again, the London Lightning staffer before the game. It seems like they never call palming or carrying over in this league ever.
No, that's really changed over the years. As a defender, you got such a big disadvantage when they can hold on to the ball like that and pretty well turn it right over. Yeah, I think that's exactly comes from the NBA is right.
Tyler Rowe again trying to taste his first points in a Jackals uniform. Couldn't do it on Jamestown's last possession. London's got 9 seconds left in this one and 9:50 remaining before the break.
For him, it's a one-on-one,
and
all by himself.
Stripped away. Calvin Cheek just commandeers the ball from Terry Thomas, and then Thomas, in my opinion, foolishly fouls Cheek after he gave up the ball.
He's frustrated out there, but that's the second possession where I think he's dribbled too long. But in that case, he's dribbling, but no players were moving away or off the ball or coming to set a screen.
Thomas,
so he's sort of stranded out there by himself.
Had 3 turnovers over the course of 38 minutes in a 17-point performance against the Bobcats. I believe that's already his 3rd turnover of the first half.
Well, it's a team. It's getting contagious on the team from what I see.
So checking off here for Coach Singleton is Christian Guest. Jamestown's Tafari Beckford currently with the ball with 9:40 remaining before the recess break. Just a 4-point lead for London. Beckford trying to change that and can't do it. Now Williams is stripped by Calvin Cheek. Isn't there an expression about being tongue-in-cheek, John? Well, Calvin Cheek just keeps stripping the ball away from London when they're not looking.
And what was the fundamental mistake that Amir Williams made that time? He's the biggest guy out there.
Tafari Beckford to the rack.
He gets a free pass, and Amir Williams gets the rebound. He brings it down to his waist where the little guy can steal it from him.
Man, London's going to have to watch out for their wallets leaving Budweiser Gardens tonight because Jamestown is pickpocketing everything out on the court as Kerr attacks the rack, but he's called for the charge.
A little hesitation cost him that time. He should have gone right away because the defender wasn't in position, but just that little quick look, should I go or not go, gave the defender just enough time to step in to draw that charge.
Now, you always talk about my homework and my research, John. Here's a funny story for you. I noticed they added Kerr Jean-Couch to this game. He's from Juba, South Sudan. So when I looked him up, I realized a Mancour Jean-Couch had actually broken his tibia and was carted off in a leg cast in a January collegiate basketball game in the United States. So I'm going, how does a guy break his tibia and join the London Lightning in March? That makes no sense. There's a guy with the exact same name, spelled the same way, from Australia playing collegiate ball right now in the United States.
No kidding. that is
the McCour Jean-Couch was not a name I was expecting to see duplicates of.
Well, in our world, that is an unusual name.
Jermaine Haley from Burns. Oh me. Oh my.
Excellent coordination. That was not an easy pass to get for Haley either. And then they give up a quick one here in the other end with Jamestown scoring quickly to negate that. They're both worth the same amount of points.
That's right. One was just a little more fancier and got the fans going.
Nice quick pass to Lufiel. He's going to call that a charge as well. They are really active on defense, anticipating that London wants to get to the hoop with their bigs.
Taking a look again, though.
Yeah, look at the terrific coordination. That was not an easy pass to grab.
I was actually going to say that was pretty well set up by Burns, though. I mean,
it was a great pass from him, but you notice Haley had to go behind his head a little bit to bring it back down, right? But terrific pass,
well,
absolutely.
I will say this. How many times did we see Cameron Lard and Burns combine for that kind of play? Lard's no longer on the team, so, well, Burns finds a new partner to do some alley-oops with.
That's right. A familiar partner.
Just a one-possession lead for the Lightning here at home. Burns, being watched by a fellow 11, goes after the younger gentleman in Ryan Montoya and burns him.
See, and Plum, he's just looking on the bench, seeing, okay, how is the chemistry working here? What are the teams doing? I want the guys to figure this out by themselves on it.
Burns with the steal. Kerr to the tin for two as Jean-Couch in his debut continues the rumble here with 4 points.
He runs the floor very well.
He spent 4 years at Northern Colorado, where he started 117 of 119 games, John. He had over 2,300 minutes, and he was 6 points shy of 800 points in a Bears uniform. That's what the Northern Colorado Bears. But as I mentioned, he did go to Temple in his senior year. He started just 12 of 32 games. They're known as
the Owls.
Yeah, the Owls.
Bears, Owls. That's interesting, yeah. I like the way he ran the floor that time.
A little Talladega Nights action where you talk about the field mouse is fast, but the owl sees at night.
And I like that. He didn't try to do a super crazy dunk. He just wanted to make sure the ball went in the hoop.
It's a 6-point lead for London, but chance to cut into that right now for Jamestown here on the road. Again, coming in with a 1-5 record on your Saturday evening. 3 ball is away. Can't get this one to go, unfortunately. That's Joseph Sullivan. Sullivan now 0 of 3 from beyond the arc, 0 of 5 from the field. Nuga, or I apologize, that's Burns rattling it in.
Yeah, so Lufia's looking for the outlet guard. Burns wasn't available. Who brings it up? Mr. Haley, and he sets up the fellow point guard, Burns.
London starting to pull away. Burns, again, another steal. Draws the foul, and one.
And I saw the intensity level has been ratcheted up a bit these last few couple substitutions as well. Looks like Burns and Haley came on with a purpose. And they're really ratcheting up the intensity here, taking care of the ball better, driving it to the hoop, really putting the pressure on Jackson.
Burns had 17 points over 40 minutes, but he had 14 assists in that 103-85 victory over the Kokomo Bobcats. He did not shoot a ball from the free throw line. As this one, no love, John. Well, it's an unfamiliar territory to him in the last 2 games.
Practice makes perfect is what you're saying?
Somewhat. 6.5 to go here in the second quarter of play. Jamestown now by 10. A long distance 3 won't go down for Calvin Cheek, who's now 2 of 7 from the field and shooting 25% from beyond the arc. Both him and Tafari Beckford are leading the Jackals with 5 points each. It is Jordan Burns, who's currently on the court for the Lightning, leading everybody on the hardwood with 8.
So that's Jermaine Haley. with the turnover, but that I think is just unfamiliarity between the two players. So he wanted to drive and drop it off to him. He wasn't ready for it.
Jermaine Haley signed with the Ottawa Blackjacks of the CEBL after winning the NBLC championship, but as I mentioned, he tried out for the Cleveland Charge and also played for the Grand Rapids Gold. This is all between last year's stint in 2022.
So Burns with the reach around foul that time. Going to be a timeout on the floor. And again, I'm really noticing Doug Plum's body language on the bench there. He has not left his chair. That's unusual, is that not? He's up and about, walking about.
On the court physically, John.
Yes, that's true. I think sometimes he wants to play the basketball game, but tonight I think he's, in this first half anyway, he's really looking at the mix and match of all the different players that are on the court, and the new ones are coming in. And let's see what works, what doesn't work against this Jamestown Jackals team.
The Jamestown Jackals were founded in 2015 by Kayla Crosby and joined the minor professional basketball league known as the Premier Basketball League in the 2016 season. After the 2017 season, the PBL folded though. The Jackals then played the 2018 season in the semi-professional basketball league known as the North American Basketball League as part of the Northeast Division. The Jackals actually won a division title on April 2018 to advance the league championship, where they unfortunately lost to the Dallas Mustangs. On August 29th of 2018, the Basketball League announced that the Jackals would be joining the rebranded league for the 2019 season. After one season, Jackals owner and general manager Kayla Crosby was named the director of team development for the Basketball League, playing in the Upper Midwest Conference against teams like the West Virginia Grind, Lebanon Leprechauns, Kalamazoo Galaxy, Kokomo Bobcats, who we saw on Thursday night, Flint United, and Glass City Wranglers. The team plays out of Jamestown Community College. The team has actually earned national attention, John, back in 2021 during a GQ expose, which detailed former Division I basketball star Jonathan Estes' journey from homelessness to professional basketball star as a member of the Jackals.
Wow, interesting stories.
So again, the Jackals found themselves in a ball game, John, after the first 12 minutes of play. They were just down by 4, 21-17, but it is a sluggish 10-4 run, technically, for London in this second quarter. A second quarter, by the way, John, that's already halfway over.
Looking at some of the leading scorers, it's pretty well balanced. Haley with 8, Burns with 6. Alita, of course, with the 2 quick threes. And young Coochie's got 4 points, but he's also got 4 rebounds as well already.
Yeah, pretty incredible debut for the guy that played his senior year at Temple after 4 years at Northern Colorado. And again, bit of a homecoming, John, for the Juba South Sudan native, as he played his academy basketball here in London during his high school days. Now, the Jackals do get very unfortuitous on that last possession, and as a result, the boys in yellow have a chance to expand on their 10-point lead.
Look who's doing all the main ball handling and the setting up of the offense. It's Haley. That's what he brings to the team.
Haley to Burns, down low to Kerr, trying to punch it away from Kerr, though, was Taekwon Gord. As I mentioned before, Gord played in this league called the NBLC in the 2017-18 season. 22 games he suited up for the St. John Riptide, so he has played at Budweiser Gardens before, albeit in this league.
Yeah, a little late coming over that time, drew the foul.
Burns receives the inbound. Looks like he lost it, though, in a late call.
Looks like a reach around, wrap around foul from behind on Burns. That's why the ball went, yeah.
So I believe Calvin Cheek is actually being called for the foul. If that's the case, John, from my count, that'll be his 4th foul of the game. Taekwon Gord
already. Oh my goodness.
Taekwon Gord has 3. Calvin Cheek already had 3 before that whistle went. And in a Lightning uniform, Jordan Burns has 3 fouls.
Okay.
So I feel like we've been saying London's had a 10-point lead for a couple moments now. Let's see if they can either add to it or the Jackals can sort of respond in a hurry. Adam Alita, give and go with Jordan Burns. Burns trying to penetrate the defense. He'll be fouled and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, we've been saying that quite a bit this season. He can get to the foul line, into the key almost at will any time off the dribble. It's after that, make good decisions, a little stop and pop, go all the way to the hoop, kick the drive and dish, kick out, whatever. But when he can get into the key, to the foul line, then London is a much better team.
He spent 4 years at Colgate, did Jordan Burns, and he was a 2021 Patriot League Player of the Year and a 2-time Patriot League Tournament MVP and 2-time Patriot League first team member during his years at Colgate. Again, he was just 4 rebounds shy of the triple-double. Maybe he should have been focusing on more rebounds and less assists. He had 14 assists, 17 points, and the 6 rebounds over the 40 minutes versus the Bobcats. 5:08 remains before the halftime break. It's now a 12-point lead for London. And no threat to the Jamestown Jackals, but with a 1-5 record, kind of the basketball game we were expecting. Maybe not such a low-scoring affair, though, John.
No, they're doing a good job on defense, I think. Offensively, they are struggling a bit.
Adams, far wing. It won't go down. Loose change rolls out for Mike Nuga, who leaves it there for Jermaine Haley. Haley decides to attack the rack, tried to feed Kerr last second.
Again, young Cooch not ready for that little dump pass from Haley. That's twice now.
Alita from downtown, his 3rd make from beyond the arc. He's got 9 points, leading everybody on the court.
I think, sometimes if I look at his minutes played versus points that he scores, like, he's pretty efficient. He's on the court for maybe 10 minutes, going to get 8 to 10 points. That's a point a minute. That'd be terrific for anybody.
Jackals have started off this game, John, 3 of 16 from beyond the arc. That's 18.8%. London's made 3 of their first 9. All 3 have come through Adam Alita, a member of Team Egypt's national basketball team.
I think that's where I was getting the mix-up for national team, I think, with Alita probably. So I'm not sure.
Well, Jeremiah Morty is coming back to the team.
Right, that's what I thought I heard.
Justin Jackson, unfortunately, is injured, and it's a big question mark whether he'll be available to come back from that injury before the postseason.
There is a spot on the team for him yet, I know. So.
Well, but the issue is, John, by signing both Jean Cooch and Jermaine Haley, if Justin Jackson were to return,
somebody
has
to get bumped. Okay.
Correct.
See how that works out.
And I'm wondering, too, as we try and, make the musical chairs rotate around with the new faces and Haley and Jean Cooch, and you can include Amir Williams in that category, too. And then the absence of a guy like Morty and Marique Isom, who's not available in this game.
Yeah, Isom, I've always said Isom is a kind of a glue guy, right? He does all the dirty work. Quite often he'll defend one of the more difficult players in the other team. He's a reliable three-point shooter, terrific on the foul line, we know. But, he's one of those kind of glue guys that not necessarily a star every night, but he usually does something really good every night.
Marique Isom, want a big shout out to him off the court for being engaged to his future wife, John. I forget her name, but I know it starts with M-O, so they're handing out these shirts that say M-O squared, as the two will be in holy matrimony.
There we go.
I've said this before. There's the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and then there's the suffering, right, John?
You know how long I've been married, so.
And she's probably tuning in, so you're being a good boy.
Yep.
It's a 15-point lead.
I got the best wife ever, so.
That's very good. And good to mention on an international broadcast, John.
Absolutely, yep.
Both on NBLC TV and TBL TV, all brought to you by Cujo Entertainment. I want to give a big shout out to our producer, Curtis's mom. Why? Well, she's helping out the Charlottetown Power. Who are the Charlottetown Power, John? Well, it's a part of an East Coast basketball league that is actually going to be starting at the end of this year. Teams from New Brunswick like Moncton and St. John's, who used to have teams in this league, will have teams in the East Coast Basketball League starting at the end of the month.
Okay.
So go Charlottetown Power, John.
More power to them. I got you.
As the lead is 13 right now for the boys in yellow.
See, look at Haley again is the one bringing up the ball. What a terrific dynamic he brings to the court. He's a big, great ball handler, also good on offense. Understands what's happening with the team. There's Alita with a quick one again, a little too quick. Too much power that time.
A little too much muscle. As it is the Jackals, the door of opportunity cracks open a bit. Tafari Beckford kicks it out. 2 from the elbow, and again, not having any love here on your Saturday night is Tyler Rowe. He has made 1 shot, John, but he's 1 for 4 from the field.
Oh, up and down, quick basketball right now, and quick shot by Jackals again, unable to convert. Three players getting the ball for London that time on the defensive boards.
Jonathan Parker has 4 points in this game, John. They've all come from the free throw line where he's a perfect 4 for 4, but I'm sure he would substitute a little bit of that in for some rest of the field action. He's 0 for 3 from the field, 0 for 4, I beg your pardon, and 0 for 2 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that London's been playing particularly tough defense on the perimeter either, so there have been some open looks.
Not to cut you off, John, but the best shooters so far in a Jackals uniform is Tafari Beckford and Calvin Cheek. The two are combined 4 of 16 from the field. They're both 2 of 8 so far. Jonathan Parker, 0 of 4. Roderick Finley, 0 of 3. Joseph Sullivan, 0 of 4. Plenty of Jackals have shot the ball and have yet to get points on the board.
Well, sometimes you're going to let certain players shoot until they make one, right? And that's what a little bit looks like what's happening tonight.
But as they wait for them to make one, London continues to roll points onto the board here at Budweiser Gardens on your Saturday night. Diving in for the basketball was Christian Guest, but it'll be maraudered away. Haley threw his legs to Alita, corner 3, Nuga, bang.
So, a nice pass, an even better pass, which had a good shot from Alita, or to a better shot in the corner for Nuga with nobody on. From a good shot to a great shot.
Is it safe to say Jermaine Haley's playing a little more gusto out of his G League experience?
I don't know. This is the way that I think he plays at the top of his game.
Oh, no. As I say that, he collides very harshly with Josh Dominguez.
And injuries did derail him last year a few times, and we hope that there's no injury here tonight. But this is the Jermaine Haley that London needs, that London had last year, especially in the second half of the year when they really started gelling. They were undefeated on this court last year, if you remember, and as you said many times, and Haley was a big part of that.
2:28 remains here in the first half of action. Man, oh man, this second quarter has just been so detrimental to the visiting Jackals. It's a 21-6 run right now in the second quarter, John. Remember, they had 17 points after 12 minutes of play. They were just down by 4. They've given up another 21 points already in this quarter. Oh yeah, still another 2:28 to go in it.
I got you. I just wanted to see again, where are we? Like I said, this is the kind of game where I think London can develop good habits and really understand the role that everybody's playing, right?
Good habits?
But when I'm looking at it again, I'm saying, yeah, it looks great on the scoreboard, right? They're playing great defense, but those turnovers to me, they just bug me. They really shock me. 16 turnovers, 6 more in this quarter.
Good habits. Talk about bad habits like we're watching a Breaking Bad episode, John. 16 turnovers by the boys in yellow. But that don't matter to Amir Williams as the big man rumbles the miss down for his 4th point of the night. He's got 6 rebounds.
And that was Haley again. Bullying ball is hitting all the way down to the hoop, and Williams finishes it off.
Stepping out of bounds with Tafari Beckford after receiving the pass from Christian Guest.
Yeah, Jamestown Jackals really back on their heels. They really got to see if they can't keep this within 20 points. It's getting away from 21 already, and just in the second quarter.
Not to point fingers, but I will. Jonathan Parker, Roderick Finley, Ryan Montoya, and Joseph Sullivan are a combined 0 for 14 from the field for a combined, John, 4 points, which all come from Jonathan Parker at the free throw line. And again, if it wasn't for the 16 turnovers by the London Lightning, as Kerr will ram this down for 2.
Kerr, young coach.
But again, if it wasn't for those 16 turnovers, John, this might be, dare I say, a 30, 40-point lead on the board.
Yeah, it has led to 9 points off a turnover for Jamestown Jackals. But like I said, to me, it's always lost opportunities as well. You have to factor that in.
London has made 5 of their first 12 shots from beyond the arc. That's 41.7%. They shot 38.9%, making 14 of 36 shots from downtown against Kokomo on Thursday night. Jamestown is 3 of 20 from beyond the arc so far. That's 15%. That's not going to get the job done. Now, back to your expose, if you will, on Jermaine Haley. He continues to penetrate the Jackals defense and draw calls out of the official.
Yeah, like I said, he just brings a whole different flavor to the team, right? A big that can run the floor, a big that can play on the perimeter for defense, a big that can get rebounds, a big that can shoot, but also a big that can dribble the ball and set up his other teammates. What a luxury to have.
The BC native makes this one from the line. He's now got 9 points in his debut in the Lightning uniform in 2023. Wondering what Raheem Radio Singleton is thinking about, by the way, loving the suit in that far corner.
Yeah, he looks pretty dapper
get
out
one of
there,
those.
absolutely. When did they play next again, did you say, Jamestown Jackals?
Well, they play tomorrow against the KW Titans at the Auditorium, as it's Adams being a pest with the pressure.
So this is the same team they're going to with KW then. Okay.
That's right. And for their head coach, again, he's played in this league, John, for the St. John Riptide, the Windsor Express, the Island Storm, including right here for the London Lightning. He played 10 games in a Lightning uniform in the 2013-14 season, averaging 12.8 minutes per game. The Boston native played his NCAA basketball for Maine, where he started 39 of 59 games. They're known as the Black Bears in the Division One.
Just looking to see what kind of offense are they trying to run, but London is denying almost everything.
It's a 27-6 run that continues to rumble in the second quarter. The Jackals only have 6 points in this second frame. It's a shot clock violation. Remember, tongue-in-cheekily, I mentioned how both teams have 5 losses in 2023, but you mentioned London has 15 wins. The Jackals have 1.
And I see that young Cooch and Haley are both getting lots of playing time as they're new to the team as well.
Haley's pass to Audie, a little too hot to handle, but Beckford did touch it last, so it goes back to London's possession with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. The referee let a fan touch the ball. Now everybody wants to touch the ball or touch Adams. The inbound to Audie. Pressure coming from the Jackals and Guest. Audie from the foul line will be fouled.
Yeah, just a little too aggressive from behind that time. It's going to be going to the foul line. He's a good foul shooter, we know.
And remember, folks,
25. Wow.
It is Damian Warner night. The Olympic gold medalist is in the house and was honored pregame, and it appears with 20 seconds left in this second quarter, the London Lightning are running away with this one, John.
Yeah, we sort of a little bit anticipated this mismatch. The second quarter has been poor for the Jackals. First quarter, they really hung in there.
Well,
not sure what the second half is going to bring, but this is a game where London Lightning, Doug Plum in particular, and with his players, these are things where I say you can start putting people in place and you can start saying, this is what I want to run. These are the good habits I want to do. These are the plays when you're in the game, this is what needs to go on.
Doug Plum is already halfway to the locker room right now, John, talking with fans with 12 seconds left in the second quarter. When have you ever seen them disinterested like this?
Mr. Intensity guy? Never.
Mr. Sixth Man on the court while the play's going on, John. And the Jackals, will they get one last shot? Beckford doesn't recognize it, and as a result, the London Lightning limit the Jamestown Jackals to just 6 points in the second quarter of play. It's officially, John, a 28-6 run to conclude the second quarter of action. Jamestown had 17 points after the first quarter. We're only down by 4. Man, oh man, on Damian Warner night, the London Lightning are running away with it, and dare I say, a golden fashion.
Okay, that's one way to put it, I guess, with Mr. Warner in the building. Yes, to me, Jamestown Jackals are in a tough spot right now. What are they going to do for adjustment at halftime? Well, definitely, their defense in the second quarter really collapsed the last 6 or 8 minutes. For a while there, they're playing pretty good defense, so that has to be shored up. But on offense, the ball doesn't move from side to side very much. It's almost all dribble penetration or a quick shot from the threes. That ball needs to move side to side, make a defense move, and go from there.
Both teams have 5 losses in 2023. One team has 15 wins, the other has 1, and I guess that's the difference in a 28-6 second quarter, John?
Yeah, that's pretty big difference. I'm telling you, they're really shocked right now, the Jackals. So let's see what they can bring in the third quarter. Not
only will they have to try and respond in the second half, but again, they'll be back in action tomorrow as they take on the KW Titans in Kitchener-Waterloo. For all couldn't have come across the border. So Nathaniel Daniels, Tyler Rowe, Jonathan Parker, and Christian Guest, along with Joseph Sullivan, have all joined the Jackals here on your Saturday night up in Canada in this international interleague battle. Thanks for joining us on both NBLC TV and TBL TV. It's Cujo Entertainment, happy to bring you all the action. Away we go into the second half. It is the leading point getter on the hardwood between both teams with 10 points, Jermaine Haley kicking it all off. How impressed have you been with the first 24 minutes of his London Lightning career in Kerr Jean-Couche?
Well, I've been Like I said, we know the quality of Jermaine Haley, and he came in ready to play tonight. And he's getting lots of run-out time as well, which I think is a great thing for Coach Doug Plum to get him right in there and get him some familiar playing time with some of those other teammates. And now you're talking about Curry Young Cooch, right? He's played steady, hasn't made many mistakes.
He's got 4 rebounds and 6 points in the opening half of play.
He's 3 for 4 from shooting. He's long, lanky, and quick. So let's see what he brings.
Gets his second points of the game, his first of the second half. He's got 4 now in the contest. Haley, the one-hand toss to Mike Nuga. Nuga drops it there for Lufiel. He went right after Beckford, and I believe they're calling Jamestown on the foul.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, if Lufiel is starting in the second half, and that was interesting, but he's also the only player that hasn't scored for London Lightning either. So I'm wondering, are his teammates looking for him? And here we go. Nuga gives him the first interior assist, and he's going to the foul line. See if every London Lightning player can get on the board.
Elijah Lufiel played 3 years at Oral Roberts, and he actually recently played for the Brampton Honey Badgers in the Basketball Champions League of Americas. They went 0-5, though, before he joined the London Lightning. He also was selected in the second round with the 25th pick in the 2022 annual G League draft by the Salt Lake City Stars. Another former Salt Lake City Star on the London Lightning uniform, not on the roster tonight, in Marik Isom. Jamestown trying to rumble with some offense, and that's back-to-back field goals made. Now, remember, Joshua Dominguez made the opening bucket of the game. He was 1 of 7, though, at the end of the first half of action. He then starts the second half, making his first shot.
And that was an easy one for him as well. A little jump shot from the foul line. Look at that.
I thought Tafari Beckford was kind of diced from behind there. No call on the play. As they say, the ball don't lie, John, and Jamestown gets it back anyway.
The ball don't lie.
Christian Guest to his teammate Calvin Cheek, who's 2 of 8 from the field for 5 points after the first 2 quarters of action.
Good
Drawing the foul.
Good recognition. They had a mismatch down with Burns down underneath with number 30. He has the size advantage, and he took full advantage of it. He did to get to the foul line.
This is the 3rd Jamestown player to go to the free throw line on your Saturday night. Only 2 other players, in Jonathan Parker, who's 4 for 4, and Taekwon Gord, who's 0 for 2. And as I say that, missing his first here is Dominguez trying to add to his 5 points on the night. So the only thing you got to watch out for if you're a London Lightning fan is Jordan Burns does have 4 personal fouls. And remember, he's coming off of a 14-assist game. We said don't get Burns'd in our keys to the game. Well, they've limited him to just 2 assists, John. They still trail, though, by 22 points.
Yeah, I dare say he has played, he's not played a full quarter either in playing time.
Nuga from Lufiel. As Nuga tries to back down Calvin Cheek, spin around Jay, drops in.
Look at that height on his jump shot. Oh my goodness.
You constantly compliment him on his vertical.
I do. It's just such a big advantage. It's not only can he get up there, but he gets up there so quick. Haley with the steal. Look at this smooth going to the basket.
The ball was tipped, but John, I thought he might have taken an extra 2 steps there and still got the 2 to the 10.
2 long steps, I think. That's what fools.
Yeah, that's what Jermaine would say. That's 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Corner 3, bang. So it ain't over till it's over.
That was Dominguez again, right?
He's now got a team-high 9 points in this game. Jermaine Haley leads everybody on the court with 12 points so far. Haley passes it to Lufiel, kicked it out to Nuga. You have 3 Canadians, a South Sudan native, and Jordan Burns. Burns is actually from San Antonio, Texas. So a Texas native, a Sudan native.
San Antonio, I was just there, I told you, back in December. Love it there. Tim Duncan and the Spurs, my favorite team of all time.
Oh, my word. How many years?
As soon as you said San Antonio, oh, yeah.
How many years has Tim Duncan been retired, though?
5, I think. 5 or 6, something like that.
Yeah. 5 is on the short side. It might be over a decade now.
An enduring legacy. It's a cool town, San Antonio, though.
I'm still going to remind you that it's actually the Admiral Robinson that has the last quadruple double in NBA history.
Ah, yes, you had reminded me that once. Do you remember George the Iceman Gervin, or just from
vintage basketball cards that I would pick up and put between my spokes of the wheel of my bicycle?
I'm dating myself, but those that love basketball know what I'm talking about.
Well, actually, pre-game, I saw a gentleman with a Arizona Diamondbacks 2001 World Series hat, and I joked with him, hey, the Yankees should have won that Game 7. And he went, hey, I was 1 year old when that game happened. I went, oh, I'm dating myself.
There you go.
So the lead is at 22. Calvin Cheek looks over to his bench, and it looks like they're going to try and get a new, fresh pair of sneakers out there. That'll be Christian Guess? No, I beg your pardon. It's Tyler Rowe coming into the game for Calvin Cheek. Calvin Cheek, now I understand why, because that's his 4th foul of the game. 9 minutes remain here in the 3rd quarter of play. Thanks for joining us here on your Thursday night as Jordan Burns couldn't get the 3-ball to go.
Oh, young Cooch was way up there. Did you see that?
Almost too far up there, John.
Yeah. Nice reverse
Great
layup.
window by Christian Guess.
No resistance on the ball that time at all. Got a free lane right to the hoop.
Guess got the rebound on one end of the court, John, and now has 6 points at the other end. Burns' pass is intercepted by Joseph Sullivan. Nice pass up to his teammate, and Guess, but Kerr absolutely body bags him, and I don't blame the Jackals, going, where the heck is the call on that one?
The block itself was clean, but the follow through afterwards, a heavy collision. Both of them fell underneath the basket. I'm saying, I don't know.
It's a vicious block. Like you said, the actual block is clean, but just railroading right over him as the newcomer in Kerr. And to be honest with you, I talked with the gentleman pregame. I don't know if I'd want to be run over by him at 6'9", 220.
So I want to get this straight. Like Kerr, you say Kerr, and is his last name Young Cooch?
Young Cooch. Young Cooch. And actually, technically, his first name's Mancour.
That's his first name?
Yes.
Okay. So you're saying his first name and not his last name. I was getting a little confused there. So.
Well, I don't think he wants me to mispronunciate his last name about 50 times on our Saturday night, but we can go through it
again. We can write in big block letters here for you if you like. Young Cooch. He's getting the ball. What I'm saying is we have to call his name a lot because he's a big part of the action on that offensive rebound down here in the defensive play, setting a nice screen. He's getting a lot of playing time as well because I think that's part of the point with Doug Plum tonight, to get the newcomers a lot of floor time tonight.
So Big Kerr inbounds the ball for the London Lightning.
Okay, you're going with it. I got you.
That's Jermaine Haley. Your main is back into the roster there, John. Nuga leaves it there for Adams. The Flint, Michigan native can't get this one to go. And actually, I beg your pardon, he's from Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah, I remember you said that before, yeah. Here's a big mismatch again.
Getting the foul on Nuga is Tyquan Gordon. Now, Gordon, though, is 0 for 2 from the line, and he's only got 2 points so far. Again, a bit of a welcome back for a guy that did play in the NBLC with the St. John Riptide.
Well, so far coming out with good energy so far at Jamestown Jackals in this 3rd quarter. They're keeping pace with the London Lightning.
We'll give a big shout out to Kayla Crosby, who again was founded these Jamestown Jackals back in 2015. And in fact, she would go on, John, to become the player development person with the TBL. So she's holding a high priority role with both the Jackals, which is her creation, but also helping with the whole inevitable evolution, if you will, of the TBL, which does have the evolving of 3 Canadian teams in 2023. We've seen the Newfoundland Rogues play the London Lightning on 4 occasions. The Montreal Tundra we talked about in a previous broadcast. And then another team that you have to think about is the Academy Elma. They play out of Quebec City. So Jamestown, for instance, will play the KW Titans tomorrow, but then they'll be back at home on Saturday, April 1st to take on the Syracuse Stallions. The Stallions, by the way, that'll come after a night they play and host the London Lightning in the last game of March.
Okay.
But then after the Stallions, the Jackals will play Academy Elma at home on April 2nd. Again, Academy Elma plays out of Quebec City. As Tyquan Gordon, who makes his first shot from beyond the arc, he's 1 of 4 from the field so far on your Saturday evening. So again, you think back to that 2nd quarter as Jermaine Haley is denied, but Joshua Dominguez doesn't agree with the call.
It's a good double team, just a little late that time, and Haley going strong to the hoop. And like I said, he's got good ball handling skills, but he has also got good size and lots of muscle on his frame to absorb that contact as well.
2 games ago, London was outscored 30-18 in the 3rd quarter of play. They were outscored in the 3rd quarter by the Kokomo Bobcats, although they then outscored them 32-17 in the final quarter when it mattered most. But after going on a 28-6 run over the whole course of the 2nd quarter, John, It's the Jackals shooting out to a 16-5 run of their own in the second half. So whatever is said at the halftime break is simply not working right now in the Lightning locker room because they come out ice cold in the third frame.
Yep, I agree. And Jackals are making some of their shots as well, and they're getting a little more patient on offense. And that time, a couple of good passes, a nice interior pass, draws the foul.
I know our cameraman, Quentin, and as well as Cam were enjoying the pasta before the game. I'm wondering if, the London Lightning, they're, running out of a little fuel because Cam ate it all. Shout out to Quentin and Cam doing an incredible job, as always, as our camera people. And then we got to give a shout out to Curtis back in the truck doing the replays, the graphics, the production, the directing. He's got multiple hats on his head.
Long three, oh my goodness.
This one kisses the window and goes wide for Josh Dominguez. As a team, they're 5 of 24 from beyond the arc. Dominguez is 2 of 7. Guess kicks it out to Sullivan. Sullivan stuck on a pivot foot. Will find Tyler Rowe. 3 new Jackals just touched the ball. As running into Kerr will be Sullivan, so he'll go to the line. This is a gentleman that's 0 for 5 technically from the field, 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. No points in the game. We'll have a chance to change all that right here from the free zone.
Thought he had made 1 3 earlier this game, but he's willing to mix it up though. So he's playing hard out there, and right now the Jackals have got the London Lightning on their back heels.
Well, again, Christian Guess, Jonathan Parker, Tyler Rowe, Jonathan Daniels, and Joseph Sullivan. All new blue uniforms when the Jackals were unfortunately without the services of Magnus Richards, Brendan McGee, Demario Jones, Dante Law, and like I keep mentioning, the 6'9" product of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Daniel Malamba, who leads the team in both rebounds per game and blocks per game. That's, again, a big figurative and literal piece of their lineup missing.
Yeah, that's a big hit to take on the team.
Turnovers.
So anyway, I'm just looking at the stats again. I didn't mention them at the halftime because we were keeping guys up to date. London had 16 turnovers in the first half, 10 in the first quarter, 6 in the second quarter. And here I'm looking the first early minutes, another 4 turnovers, 20 turnovers.
I'm not trying to diss the Jamestown Jackals, but they do come in with a 1-5 record, and they're currently on a 4-game losing streak. Is this a credit of London playing down to their opponents?
I think they are not careful enough with the ball. They're careless with their passes, and the other teams are reading them like a book because they're telegraphing so many passes. Because sometimes we got to run the play, we got to run the play, we got to run the play. I have to pass with this person, but you have to always realize where is the defender. A little ball fake will go a long way. Sometimes the pass come a little quicker. If the pass is coming, you come and get the ball so the other team has a chance to deflect it. But this is 20 turnovers, 14 assists for London Lightning, and they're still winning by 15 points.
I mentioned Daniel Malamba not available for the Jackals, their leading rebounder and blocker. Magnus Richards is their best free throw shooter, currently shooting 78.3%. He's not available. Dominguez was just behind him in second at 70.4, so almost an 8% drop from the leader in Richards. And then really, I'm kind of shocked that tonight we haven't seen Calvin Cheek, who currently has 6 points and 2 assists, kind of step up his game, considering he's got an 11.8 point per game average, shooting 33.8% from the field and chipping in a team high 2.7 assists per game.
Well, London's done a good job on their top scorer, Tafari Beckford. He only has 5 points so far, but I don't see him getting the ball much from his teammates either.
Beckford was our player to watch in a Jackals uniform, currently 2 of 6 from the field, but he does have 6 rebounds, tied with Christian Guess as the leader in a Jackals uniform. Adams at midcourt with 6:40 remaining here in the third quarter. Gives it over to Alita, back to Burns. 1 left on the shot clock. The heave is up. It hits the rim to negate a shot clock violation, but Jackals collect the loose change.
Okay, here's Beckford here. Let's see. The ball gets moved from side to side. It's stuck at top again. Let's see what Jamestown Jackals can do here with it.
And it's Tyler Rowe sort of taking over the general on the court, if you will. He does stop pop and lock it down after it hung on the rim for a couple seconds.
Did you say lock it down or lock it down?
Lock it down.
Oh, okay. I thought it was lucky. Was not a good looking shot. He shot in traffic. But he got the lucky bounce. So no, I'm going to give it, let's say, give him the shooter's bounce. That's what they call it, right?
Tyler Rowe will pick up his third foul here with 6:04 remaining in the third quarter of play.
Lightning have 16 fouls already as well, contributing along with their 4 turnovers.
Again, Jamestown is making its Canadian debut here tonight in 2023. They'll immediately get another taste of NBLC action when they take on the KW Titans tomorrow. And then later in April, they're up in Nickeltown. They'll smell a little sulfur in the air when they take on the Sudbury 5 in 2 straight games on the 22nd and 23rd of April. And then on April 29th of last year, they played their only game against the NBLC so far until tonight when they lost 198 to the Windsor Express. So they did have a chance to make history, John, but it's going to take one epic comeback as Tafari Beckford tries to do just that. He'll draw the foul.
They're doing a good job. It's down to 12 points, and they're at the foul line. The tables have turned. 19-5 run here for the Jamestown Jackals over London Lightning.
It was a 21-17 first quarter in favor of the home team. They then went on a 28-6 run in the second quarter alone to take a commanding 49-23 lead into the halftime break. But as John just mentioned, it is currently a 19, could be 29, jinx them again, 19-5 run currently. He's got another crack at it right now.
Yeah, I still think he needs to see the ball more as well for their team. He's a leading scorer for a reason.
Tafari Beckford attended Davenport. That is a Division II school. He played there for 2 years where he started 27 of 51 games. He had 1,200 minutes, 465 points, and 290 rebounds, known as the Panthers. The Davenport Panthers.
Amir Williams back in the game. He hasn't seen too much playing time in the second quarter. That time he's driving the hoop and being held by Sullivan that time.
Yeah, some 25-on-25 crime there as Sullivan picks up his second foul of the game. And Amir Williams, who's 2 for 4 from the charity stripe, will try to add to his 4 points on the night. Our player to watch in a London uniform does have 7 rebounds, though, John, and multiple blocks.
Yeah, just not, I think, a deliberate strategy by Doug Plum, not playing him as much. I'm thinking if the score keeps this close, the fourth quarter will be a little bit different dynamics. We'll probably see lots of him.
Out of 49 teams in the TBL, 48 already have 1 loss on their record. My Potawatomi Fire are 5-0. They remain the lone undefeated team after beating the Enid Outlaws 102-91 on Thursday night.
Where are they from?
Now, again, John, you're getting me all riled up. They will play the Lightning today.
Okay.
They're playing the Lightning right now.
TBL Lightning, I got you.
But they're playing the Little Rock Lightning. Little Rock's in Arkansas, to take you a little through your geography class, John.
Oh, okay, I like it. So their top scorer, Beckford, gets in a good position. Teammates looking for him. He jumps right over top the defender for an easy 2. We're down to 11-point ball game.
Seems like everybody is getting a little bit of points on your Saturday night. Jermaine Haley leads everybody on the court with just 12. Josh Dominguez for the Jackals has 11. As I say that, though, Jordan Burns rips nylon. He's in double digits with 10.
And where did he get to? The foul line again. Good things happen when he gets to the foul line.
Tafari Beckford now 1 of 4 from beyond the arc and 3 of 11 from the field. Give and go between Jermaine Haley and Mike Nuga. Too strong of a coffee. Tafari Beckford recognizing the chance to penetrate the zone, hits the back of the rim, gets his own rebound. That's one way to pat your stats.
He's showing why he's a leading scorer for this team. Terrific little head fake to get Amir Williams up, and then he gets his own rebound, never comes down with it, puts it back.
Gets a free rebound and 2 points in the process. Amir Williams hits the back of the rim. Nuga, though, on the recycling bin.
And again, that's Burns penetrating, got past the foul line, a nice little dump pass to Amir Williams.
To remember, at one point, John, it was a 20-5 run. Well, now London has scored 11 points in this third quarter, but still a continuing trend we've noticed in 2023, this dismal start after the locker room break.
Yeah, their third quarters have not been as strong. Well, unlike last year on their undefeated run on the floor, their third quarter was often where they put the other teams away.
Jermaine Haley tried to throw it down. He will draw the foul on the play, though, as Christian Guest gets the call.
Terrific give and go that time with Williams. Williams kept the ball high, and Haley cut down through the lane for the attempted dunk.
Interesting to note, both teams have made 5 shots from beyond the arc, but London's only attempted it 19 times. Jamestown's attempted it 26 times. So that leads to a 19.2 conversion rate for Jamestown, a 26.3% conversion rate for London. And when you think about it from the grander side of things, that's probably why we see the score the way it is. Both teams just hucking up bricks from beyond the arc.
Well, particularly in that second quarter, by looking at the first half stats for Jamestown Jackals, together between the 3s and the 2s, they were shooting 15%. That was pretty low. But they're shooting much better here in the third quarter.
And kind of to their detriment for the London Lightning, they are only 50% from the charity stripe, John. Actually, check that after that last make. They're just above it, 51.9%. They've made 14 of 27. So they've left 13 free points on the board, the Lightning from the charity stripe. Jamestown's not that much better, 10 of 18. That's 55.6%. They've left 8 free points off the board.
I hear you, partner.
Burns an extra skip again, John. Okay, a long skip, a long step. How did he get away with the travel there?
And again, Haley getting to the hoop and avoiding all kinds of traffic, including the cameraman and the sound lane that I don't like down there. He made it safely to the other side, but again, driving to the hoop.
He had to go through a whole lot of, let's say, friction on his way to the basket, gave the 2 points, but then even after the points went in, he had to tiptoe around a photographer, tiptoe around John Van Halen's advertisement signs on the baseline.
Yeah.
He remains a cool cucumber, though, and he'll go to the line to try and make it an and one play. And as I mentioned before, in 2022, Jermaine Haley shot 76.8% from the charity stripe.
All right, 6 for 11 from the free throws now. Because I anticipate this will be a big factor going down home stretch of the season. Haley will be getting to the foul line a lot of times. Just because of the nature of play, he's going to have the ball in his hand a lot. So he's probably going to be disappointed with himself missing that many free throws. But that will be a key factor going to the end of the season. If
Jamestown's going to come back into this game, you think that gentleman right there, and Tafari Beckford, is going to have to play a huge factor. He tried to attack the rack, and he draws the foul out of Amir Williams. He will go to the line, where currently in today's game, he's 1 of 2.
Yeah, he's come alive a little bit in this second quarter, or third quarter, sorry. And a good little response here by London Lightning here in the last couple minutes of this one as well. Because now it's a 24-15 difference in this quarter.
But still, I mean, obviously how you end it's going to be more important than how you started it in the third quarter of play. But this is a continuing trend we've noticed over the course of March at least, John, is that after the halftime break, it seems like the opponents always get the better half of the advantage.
To me, that's more of a mental thing, I think. I don't even know if it's a hustle or energy thing, but it just seems to be mentally.
Burns pulls up from the charity stripe. Couldn't put it over a fellow 11, though, in Ryan Montoya. 2:40 remains here in the third quarter play. Ari Beckford over to his teammate and Taekwon Gord, I should say. Tafari Beckford near wing, watched by Jermaine Haley. They're going to call Haley.
That's a holding foul, yeah. And again, he's drawing a lot of attention, right? And rightly so. He's finally taken the bull by the horns, however you want to say it in basketball, right? He's taking the ball and he wants to do something, and his teammates are looking for him and they're setting him up as well.
Putting an interesting connection here. The last time Jamestown won a game was back on March 5th. They beat the Kokomo Bobcats 103-95. The Bobcats were in London on Thursday night. They also gave up another 103 points. In their only 2 losses of the season, Kokomo's given up 103 in each of those L's.
That's going to be Jamestown Jackals balls on them out. Yeah, so what I'm saying that London, is still the only team in the league, in the Canadian League, holding their team to under 100 points. But that has crept from 94 points a game to almost 98 points a game, because 3 of the last 4 games have been high-scoring games against London. Their defense has not been as strong as it was earlier in the year.
They did step up their game on Thursday night for you, though, John, limiting the Bobcats to just 85 points. That was even more impressive when you consider the Bobcats shut out to a 12-3 lead in that ball game on your Thursday.
Exactly.
So Haley trying to get it to Jean Couch, and Jean Couch couldn't get the ball in his possession. It'll be inbound.
And to me, that was not a Haley problem. That was a Young Couch problem. He didn't step into the key to come get that ball. He just stayed where he was, and the defender just jumped right in front of him.
Burns down low to Haley, gets to
Oh,
Fari
look at
Beckford
that.
jumping.
Just shrugs off the defender, no problem. Go ahead, jump, land on my back, and then I'll put it in, no problem.
Other than just simply making your shots, which would be the Greg Popovich answer, as they've only made 16 of 62 shots from the field on your Saturday night as Jamestown. That's 25.8%. Beckford trying to change that, and he does. Just their sixth make from beyond the arc on 27 attempts.
Yeah, he's come alive in this quarter. He's now up at the 16 points.
So going back, Pop, to my question to you. What do the Jamestown Jackals have to do differently tomorrow, again on the road against the Canadian opponent in the Titans of Kitchener-Waterloo, than you've seen so far tonight against the Lightning?
Well, if they can play with this intensity they are in the beginning of this third quarter for a whole game, that'll be good. And then
Safari Beckford back-to-back jacks.
Let the guy who can actually shoot the ball well from the outside shoot the threes instead of everybody taking their turn shooting the threes. Be more selective about their threes. I think they'll have a lot better chance.
And Jamestown has forced 20 turnovers after the London Lightning, who has 15 wins so far in 2023. Nuga escapes the danger zone and kicks it out to Burns. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. We're in the final minute here on your Thursday night in the third quarter.
Nice
John
shot
Cooch
underneath.
gets it off the rim and in.
Oh, Pascal Siakam kind of look there.
Jermaine Haley leading everybody on the court with 18 points. He's also got 6 rebounds and 2 assists, as unfortunately it's Taquan Gord missing from distance. I think he wanted that going back into Beckford's hands.
I tell you, why did he take that shot? It was early in the shot clock. He's like good 6 feet outside his three-point line. Only one pass had been made. Like, make a couple 3 passes before he settled for that shot. He's not shooting a high percentage from there.
Burns winds the clock down at midcourt, pops into the far wing and drills down the 3 ball.
Yeah, when he picks his spot, when to shoot from there, he's very effective.
Safari Beckford, final play of the third quarter. He'll kiss it off the glass for 2.
Terrific first step. He has come alive this quarter. He's up to 18 points now. I think that makes him 13 points just in this quarter alone.
So again, as John Van Houwelingen mentioned, the Jackals do respond in kind. After falling down to a 28-6 run over the course of 12 minutes of basketball, known as the second quarter, they respond by outscoring the Lightning by 13, 35-22 in the third quarter. What's really shocking to me, though, is they put up a combined 23 points over 2 quarters of basketball, but as we've so casually seen here in 2023, London allows them to accumulate more than that in 1 quarter to start the second half.
Yeah, and Jackals, give them credit. They came out with more intensity than London did for the first 4 or 5 minutes of that quarter. It wasn't until later that London started finding their stride, mainly because of Burns and Haley, a great tandem going on there. To me, 20 turnovers, 4 more turnovers that quarter. To me, that is a big red flag. That to me is an Achilles heel. That to me is a continuing bad habit.
To your point, I'm sure Bill Jones, the head coach of the Windsor Express, has been watching the last couple games, knowing that his team is here at Budweiser Gardens on Wednesday night in their final altercation of the 2023 season. So if you're going to be scouting anything, you're scouting the fact that both the Bobcats on Thursday night from Kokomo, Indiana, and now the Jackals from Jamestown, New York, have been picking the pockets of the Lightning all day, all night.
And I think against a better quality team that has better run-out potential, that London will really get burned with those turnovers. They haven't been really made to pay for them so far. There's even points off turnover tonight for the Jackals is not even that high. Points off a turnover.
In favors the London Lightning.
Yeah, 17 points now, but still.
But still, you talked about the turnovers favor, the Jackals. They turned over the ball 20 times compared to 11 by Jamestown. But points off a turnover somehow favors the Lightning 19-17.
Yeah, it depends where you lose the ball in the open court, right? And if it's a quick turnover. But to me, your recipe for success is your assists should always be more than your turnovers. Would you not agree?
Absolutely.
Like every coach will say that. And your assists should always be at least twice as much as your turnovers. So if you got 20 assists, 10 turnovers, 25 and 12. 25 assists a game is a really nice number to get. If you're playing really well, it's doable. 12 turnovers, acceptable, to me. But when it's the other way around, or when turnovers are more or slightly more than assists, I'm going, oh boy, you're still going to win, but it's ugly.
Now, John, the Bobcats on Thursday night were outscored in the fourth quarter 32-17 after sticking around for the first three quarters on your Thursday evening. Do you see London sort of doing the same thing tonight to Jamestown?
Well, I do actually.
As you say that, though, it's Josh Dominguez starting off the quarter with an N1 play. This guy started off the
1-2 punch,
Dominguez started off the game with a 3-ball. Started off the second half with the opening bucket. And now started off the fourth quarter with the opening bucket.
He recognized the mismatch there, right? So he took advantage of it right away. But London did wear out Kokomo Bobcats on the other night, especially in the fourth quarter was a big tell. But, you know, I think the coach was reserving some of his players as well because they were playing 3 games in 4 nights.
Jean Couch, by the way, grabs his 8th rebound of the game. Mike Nuga already has 10 rebounds in this game. John, he's just a trifecta shy of the double-double. As Haley will be called with the charge. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
Yeah, he put his shoulder down. He had his man beat, I thought. I don't think it was necessary to put his left shoulder down and knock the man to the floor. He's a big, strong man.
Now going back to Mike Nuga, he does have 4 fouls along with Jordan Burns in a Lightning uniform. Calvin Cheek has 4 in the Jamestown blue. Those are your gentlemen in trouble with the law. As rolling this one off his sneaker was Josh Dominguez. It's a turnover.
That's because Haley held his defensive position, didn't allow the man to grab the ball.
Now, one thing you can say about Jamestown, who again picked up their last win on, and only win, I should say, of 2023, back on March 5th over the Kokomo Bobcats, 103-95, is that they are on a 4-game losing streak, John, but they had never been blown out. The Lebanon Leprechauns beat them 107-102. Then the Kalamazoo Galaxy beat them by 10, 107-97. They dropped a heartbreaker to the Glass City Wranglers, 96-94. And again, their recent loss was just by 4 to the Albany Patroons, 90-86.
And they're not getting blown out here tonight either. And you think about it, in 3 quarters of play, they've held London Lightning to 71 points. That's less than 25 points a quarter. If that holds true, London wouldn't even score 100 points. So to their credit, in the first and third quarter, they played decent defense.
Well, despite the fact that London was leading by 4 after the first quarter of play, you're right. That continuing average would have been just 84 points on your Saturday night. Now, London is currently at 71. Well, you never know, John, if they continue that trend from the opening quarter, they might not get there. As Jean Couch grabbed it, are they saying this is an N1?
Don't know if he gave a continuation. Looks like he's bounced. Looks like it went 2. That means the basket counts. Yes, it does. So he's going to the line. So Haley's really been a point of emphasis tonight is that 1-2 play with young Couch. He wants that give and go. He wants that pass from him to go inside to Young Couch. And I think he's starting to pick up. He wants to build a chemistry with him. Now, I think that could be a very dynamic duo.
The 6'9" product of South Sudan attended London Basketball Academy during his London high school days, and he actually participated in the 2022 Global Jam. He played in 3 games. Couldn't get it to go here, though, is the Temple graduate. Back the other way, Stafari Beckford. I thought Beckford for sure was fouled by Kerr.
No, I thought he got just enough of the ball way up high, too.
You're supposed to get all orange in that situation, though, right, John?
Look at this. Great dynamics again. Haley is looking every time inside for him to move with the ball, move without the ball. And he's going to give it to him. Young Couch just has to be aware of it. Keep that eye contact with Tremaine Haley.
Young Couch is now 6 of 8 in his London Lightning debut. With
hungry.
That rebound, John, he's got the double-double in his debut.
He's hungry for the boards. He's not going to give that up easy.
12 points and 10 rebounds. Him and Haley continue to go to work. He'll kick it out to Nuga. Near side to Audie. Back out to Amir Williams. Williams lost it. Got it back to Audie. Won't go down from distance. Tafari Beckford avoids trouble. Goes after Nuga. Nifty behind the back move. And 1 for Tafari Beckford.
He's got that first quick, long step. And all of a sudden, he just sort of frees you for a minute. Then a long stride around you, and he's quick to the basket.
He's our player to watch in a Jamestown uniform for a reason.
Good call, absolutely.
He's leading everybody on the court currently with 23 points. He's 4 of 6 from the charity stripe going into this chance, and he does, I should say, have double-double already with 11 rebounds in this game. So it looks like a timeout here with 9:35 remaining in the fourth quarter.
At the foul shooter on the free throw line, like he's got his hands on his knees. To me, that's a sign of a tired athlete usually, right? Probably need to catch his breath, but can they keep up the pace? They close it to 11 points and a chance to get it down to 10 on the foul line.
After they were outscored 28-6 in just the second quarter alone, I asked you at the beginning of the third quarter how much Tafari Beckford would have to be involved for his team to come back. They did outscore the Lightning 35-22 in that.
For success is your assists should always be more than your turnovers. Would you not agree?
Absolutely.
Like every coach will say that. And your assists should always be at least twice as much as your turnovers. So if you got 20 assists, 10 turnovers, 25 and 12. 25 assists a game is a really nice number to get. If you're playing really well, it's doable. 12 turnovers, acceptable, to me. But when it's the other way around, or when turnovers are more or slightly more than assists, I'm going, oh boy, you're still going to win, but it's ugly.
Now, John, the Bobcats on Thursday night were outscored in the fourth quarter 32-17 after sticking around for the first three quarters on your Thursday evening. Do you see London sort of doing the same thing tonight to Jamestown?
Well, I do, actually.
As you say that, though, it's Josh Dominguez starting off the quarter with an N1 play. This guy started off the
1-2 punch,
Dominguez started off the game with a 3-ball. Started off the second half with the opening bucket. And now started off the fourth quarter with the opening bucket.
He recognized the mismatch there, right? So he took advantage of it right away. But London did wear out Kokomo Bobcats on the other night, and especially in the fourth quarter, it was a big tell. But I think the coach was reserving some of his players as well because they were playing 3 games in 4 nights.
Jean Couch, by the way, grabs his 8th rebound of the game. Mike Nuga already has 10 rebounds in this game. John, he's just a trifecta shy of the double-double. As Haley will be called with the charge. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
Yeah, he put his shoulder down. He had his man beat, I thought. I don't think it was necessary to put his left shoulder down and knock the man to the floor. He's a big, strong man.
Now going back to Mike Nuga, he does have 4 fouls along with Jordan Burns in a Lightning uniform. Calvin Cheek has 4 in the Jamestown Blue. Those are your gentlemen in trouble with the law. As rolling this one off his sneaker was Josh Dominguez. It's a turnover.
That's because Haley held his defensive position, didn't allow the man to grab the ball.
Now, one thing you can say about Jamestown, who again picked up their last win and only win, I should say, of 2023, back on March 5th over the Kokomo Bobcats, 103-95, is that they are on a 4-game losing streak, John, but they have never been blown out. The Lebanon Leprechauns beat them 107-102. Then the Kalamazoo Galaxy beat them by 10, 107-97. They dropped a heartbreaker to the Glass City Wranglers, 96-94. And again, their recent loss was just by 4 to the Albany Patroons, 90-86.
And they're not getting blown out here tonight either. And you think about it, in 3 quarters of play, they've held London Lightning to 71 points. That's less than 25 points a quarter. If that holds true, London wouldn't even score 100 points. So to their credit, in the first and third quarter, they played decent defense.
Well, despite the fact that London was leading by 4 after the first quarter of play, you're right. That continuing average would have been just 84 points on your Saturday night. Now, London is currently at 71. Well, you never know, John. If they continue that trend from the opening quarter, they might not get there. As Jean Couch grabbed it, are they saying this is an N1?
Don't know if he gave a continuation. Looks like he's bounced. Looks like he went 2. That means a basket counts. Yes, it does. So he's going to the line. And so Haley's really been a point of emphasis tonight is that 1-2 play with Young Couch. He wants that give and go. He wants that pass from him to go inside to Kerr Young Couch. And I think he's starting to pick up. He wants to build a chemistry with him. I think that could be a very dynamic duo.
The 6'9" product of South Sudan attended London Basketball Academy during his London high school days, and he actually participated in the 2022 Global Jam. He played in 3 games. Couldn't get it to go here, though, as the Temple graduate. Back the other way is Tafari Beckford. I thought Beckford for sure was fouled by Kerr.
No, I thought he got just enough of the ball way up high, too.
You're supposed to get all orange in that situation, though, right, John?
Look at this. Great dynamics again. Haley is looking every time inside for him to move with the ball, move without the ball. And he's going to give it to him. Young Couch just has to be aware of it, keep that eye contact with Jermaine Haley.
Kerr Young-Cooch is now 6 of 8 in his London
Man,
Lightning
look at
debut.
that.
With
He's
that
hungry.
rebound, John, he's got the double-double in his debut.
He's hungry for the boards. He's not going to give that up easy.
12 points and 10 rebounds. Him and Haley continue to go to work. He'll kick it out to Nuga. Near side to Audie. Back out to Amir Williams. Williams lost it. Got it back to Audie. Won't go down from distance. Tafari Beckford avoids trouble. Goes after Nuga. Nifty behind the back move. And one for Tafari
He's
Beckford.
just got that first quick, long step. And all of a sudden, he just sort of freezes you for a minute, then a long stride around you, and he's quick to the basket.
He's our player to watch in a Jamestown uniform for a reason.
Good call, absolutely.
He's leading everybody on the court currently with 23 points. He's 4 of 6 from the charity stripe going into this chance, and he does, I should say, have double-double already with 11 rebounds in this game. So it looks like a timeout here with 9:35 remaining in the fourth
I'm looking
quarter.
at the foul shooter on the free throw line, like he's got his hands on his knees. To me, that's a sign of a tired athlete usually, right? Probably need to catch his breath, but can they keep up the pace? They close it to 11 points and a chance to get it down to 10 on the foul line.
After they were outscored 28-6 in just the second quarter alone, I asked you at the beginning of the third quarter how much Tafari Beckford would have to be involved for his team to come back. They did outscore the Lightning 35-22 in that third quarter, and currently outscoring your London Lightning just 6-4 here in the fourth. They're going to have to do a lot more of that as they are down by 11 with under 10 minutes left in the game.
And Beckford's up to 23 points. If I remember correctly, he only had 5 points at the half. That's why we said point of emphasis to me. Ball moves side to side, and they need to get Beckford, their leading scorer, involved in the game. And he certainly has been a willing participant as teammates are looking for him. He's got 18 points in the second half alone.
Josh Dominguez had 11 points and 3 rebounds over the course of 26 minutes in that 90-86 loss to the Albany Patroons. So far here on your Saturday, he's 4 of 11 from the field, 3 of 5 from the line. He's got 4 rebounds and 13 points.
Yeah, it's been a good secondary scorer for them.
Calvin Cheek, again going back to that 4-point loss, 9-point performance where he was 3 of 10 from the field. All of his makes were from beyond the arc where he was 3 of 6. He coupled that with 6 assists and 4 rebounds over the course of 24 minutes. Here tonight, he's got 2 rebounds, no assists, 6 points as he's 2 of 8 from the field. So not to point fingers, but if you had a bit better shooting from guys like Calvin Cheek and Taquan Gord, and then had a little more support from the newcomers and Joseph Sullivan, Donathan Daniels, and Tyler Rowe, this might even be a different ball game here on your Saturday evening.
Shot selection is so important, right? We've said it a couple times on here, and I've said it a couple times, like, why are they shooting that ball already? Make sure the proper people are shooting it from the right place at the right time.
This will be the 24th shot from the free throw line as a team for Jamestown, but not being able to make it is Beckford, so now they're 13 of 24 on the night. London, 15 of 29. Both teams, I don't think, will get too much praise from their head coaches for their ability to make free throws. And again, if you look at from the field right now, London shooting 50%. They've made 27 of 54 shots in this game.
The first half was 55%. Absolutely.
Jamestown's all the way down at 31%, 22 of 71 shots. They've shot the ball, John, 17 more times, and they've made 5 less misses as Elijah Lufiel misses the throwdown. And my eyes might be tricking me a bit, John, but I think the whole net moved a little bit.
He's a powerful guy, that's for sure. I didn't really see a lot of contact there. I thought he lost the ball on the way up, but he got the call and he's on the foul line.
So a bit of a rude welcome back for Jackals head coach in Raheem Radio Singleton. Remember, he played for the St. John Riptide, Windsor Express, Island Storm, and these London Lightning. That was back in the 2013-2014 season. Over the course of 2013 to 2016 was his time during the 4 teams in this league. And the Boston native played his NCAA ball for the Black Bears of Maine in the Division I program. Tafari Beckford loses it to a fellow one in Marcus Audie. Audie through midcourt. He'll be fouled. Pretty much looked intentional out of Christian Guess.
I don't know why. He had him funneling to the sideline. I don't know why he bodied him that time. He did a good job running keeping them angled to the sideline.
Third foul of the game for Christian Guest, who has 8 points and 6 rebounds. Again, outside of Tafari Beckford with his double-double, 23-point, 11-rebound performance. He's supported currently by Dominguez with 13 and Christian Guest with 8. Jordan Burns, who had 14 assists in the game versus the Bobcats, has 5 assists currently against Jamestown with under 9 to go. Kissing this one off the square and in is Christian Guest. He now has double digits with 10.
Good quick run out that time. Straight to the hoop again.
An 11-point lead for the hosts as the battle of the ones and Beckford and Audie go at it. Lufield provides a screen for Audie. Audie using some work to lose the ball, though, and Josh Dominguez was fouled.
Too much dribbling with his head down. Oh, my goodness.
So again, a quick reminder that the London Lightning are back in action on Wednesday night. That's a 7 p.m. after back-to-back 7:30 p.m. starts against the Basketball League when they take on the Windsor Express. Then the game after that is in the final day of March, Friday, March 31st. They'll be in the state of New York. No, not to take on Jamestown, to take on the Syracuse Stallions, a team they beat in the Battle of Undefeateds back in 2022, albeit in this barn. Burns thought about taking the three, guarded by Beckford, whips this over to Adams, splash.
What a big weapon. Him and Alita coming off the bench just as sharpshooters. And they get the ball is gone so quick, no chance to defend that.
Jamestown outscored London 35-22, but currently being outscored after the third quarter, 9-8 in the fourth and final frame.
And one name we haven't mentioned since the first quarter.
Terry Thomas.
I'm not sure why. Yeah, Terry Thomas. So I'm not sure if he's injured. He's got sort of his warm-up clothes over top, right? And so he's usually a big factor for London Lightning, but he's after his first initial playing time.
Terry Thomas went 1 of 2 from the game. He actually went to the line and was 1 of 2 as well. He finishes with just 3 points and 2 rebounds. Now, Terry, along with Marique, have both been struggling with injuries throughout the 2023 season.
Some nagging injuries, absolutely.
And I think that puts even more italics and boldness onto the additions of Kerr, Amir, and Jermaine into the fold.
Yeah, 3 solid players, 2 veterans we know of, 1 young.
And reminder that Jeremiah Morty, who is a veteran in this league, who did play for Team Nigeria's national basketball squad, and let's face it, he's a floor general that likes to assist the ball like Burns, is still coming back to the team as well. Jamestown with 12 seconds remaining on the shot clock and 7 minutes remaining in this game. Currently trailing by 16 points, stuck on the pivot foot, has to give and go here. Is Tyler Rowe trying to get it down low. Pass intercepted. Nuga through midcourt. Jermaine Haley whips this one all across the court to Adams, back to Burns. They'll settle the clock down.
I think only a person like a Haley could throw that pass with that much strength from corner to corner.
That was a bullet, John. The fadeaway to the patented step back for Burns is gold.
Like I said, foul line, you just draw that distance anywhere in the court, 15 feet. If you can get within 15 feet of the basket, good things happen for the Lightning.
We were worried that the London Lightning might not even make 85 points after the first 12 minutes of play. But here, Mike Nuga, the give and go with Burns. If they get points on this possession, they will surpass that plateau. Lufield back to Burns. Caught Rowe jumping. Threes away, won't go down. A rebound is pulled by Joseph Sullivan, his third of the game. Sullivan has 1 point in this game. Came from the charity stripe after being 0 of 5 from beyond the arc.
He's working hard out there, though, trying to get a post position, banging on defense. Just hasn't been able to translate it to offense.
5:45 remains on the fourth quarter clock at Budweiser Gardens. Tafari Beckford, nothing but nylon.
2 seconds left on the shot clock.
26 points, leading everybody on the court. 4 of 7 from downtown on your Saturday night from Budweiser Gardens. Tafari Beckford, the Illinois native who went to Davenport, continues the roll. Lufield grabs this one off the hardwood and lays it into the tin.
Definitely have a size advantage to Lightning, and they're taking advantage of it as well.
Every single yellow uniform here on your Thursday night has picked up points. Jermaine Haley leads the charge with 18 as they're calling a backcourt violation. But if that tipped off of Burns, that would not be correct, partner?
I trying to replay that in my mind. I think Burns touched the ball, but I think he banged it off the knee of Dominguez, I think.
But still, wouldn't the defensive deflection negate it?
No, but there's no change in possession, so it has to be a change in possession for it. So Blue still had possession of the ball, so therefore it's over and back.
Okay. I'll agree with you. You're going to become a referee, so I better.
That's right.
As Burns, man, it's like a video game when he does that step back jumper.
I'm going to tell you over and over again, foul line in, he is deadly.
Burns so far continuing to rumble here with 6 assists, well shy of the 14 he put on the Bobcats as Tafari Beckford draws the foul out of Lou Field.
I knew where he was going as soon as he touched the ball, didn't you?
Going back to Burns, he does have 17 points so far in this game, just behind Haley, who's leading all yellow uniforms with 18. 4:38 remains on the clock. Tafari Beckford, who's got 26 points in this game, is currently...
That's a great substitution because Lou Field was on Beckford. He's just a little too quick. Size-wise is fine, but he's just too quick. Now you put on Young Cooch. I got it right. I've taken time. He's quick enough to stay laterally with the number 1 from
Tafari Beckford.
Jamestown Jackals. Got to get all these J's and J's in there. Oh, my goodness.
And you were just in Jacksonville, weren't you?
No, I wasn't in Jacksonville, no.
You were in Florida.
I was in No, I went through Jacksonville.
You went through. So you just lied to me.
No, I said I was in San Antonio, and I was in Florida. I was in Lakeland.
I said you were in Jacksonville, and you said no, and then you just said you went through Jacksonville.
Yeah, so I wasn't.
You lied to me.
I wasn't in it. I never stopped. So if you don't stop, you're not really in it.
Oh, my word.
I like this play.
The Prince of Semantics, John Van Howling, it at it again.
So, like, if you drive through St. Thomas, did you say you were in St. Thomas? Like, you didn't stop?
Listen, when your car crashes and you call EMS, do you say, I'm in St. Thomas or not?
But then I stopped,
no.
right? So, if you don't stop, you haven't been
there. Get him out of here, folks.
You haven't stopped, you haven't been there.
So if you drive through a town.
I drove through the town.
You drive through a town but never stop, you've never been there.
Exactly.
That is new to me.
Yep, you didn't get gas, you didn't get...
So when you're taking the train, you can say you've been to any of the cities the train's gone through.
So if you take a train from here to Toronto and you go through Brantford, you say, I've been in Brantford.
I went to Brantford.
You weren't in Brantford, though. Like, you never stopped.
Oh, my
Put your foot on the lane.
I'll argue with you for the next 4.5, John. Don't get me started.
I don't think our viewers want that, so...
Most people in Jamestown, New York are wondering where the heck is Brantford, but key little note, first ever phone call in history was made by Alexander Graham Bell at a CN rail station in Brantford, Ontario.
Brantford, Ontario.
Do you know where the call was made to, John?
Oh, I thought it was on the East Coast or something.
It was actually made to nearby Paris, Ontario.
Oh, was it? Oh, I thought it was East Coast for some reason.
So Jermaine Haley with 3:55 remaining in the game. Back to Burns. Corner 3 for Adams. Too strong of a coffee. Rebounded away by Nuja, though.
That's why he gets so many rebounds, right? He just comes from the weak side, and with his leaping ability, he just leaps over the defender.
Now Haley was trying to set up Kerr. It's a turnover instead, but playing hot potato with the basketball is Jamestown, and commandeering it back is Adams. 3.5 to go on your Saturday night in this international interleague affair. A defensive breakdown between Tafari Beckford and Joseph Sullivan.
Great ball movement. Did the ball go from one side to the other side, back again, and cut into the key, right? So that whipsaw effect of going back and forth just throws off the defenders.
London outscored the Bobcats in the fourth quarter on Thursday night, 32-17. It's not quite as dominant, but it is a little bit of a stranglehold. They've outscored the Jackals 21-15 here on your Saturday night.
I'm giving the Jackals a lot of credit for coming back in the second half. That pummeling in the second quarter, the team could have really got down and been discouraged, but they came back with a lot of fight.
Jackals only scored 17 points in the opening quarter of play, but they only found themselves down by 4. Unfortunately, just a 6-point second quarter where they were outscored on a run 28-6 over the course of that 12 minutes of action. But as John was just alluding to it, they came out guns a-blazing in the third quarter, outscoring the London Lightning here on their home court 35-22. But as we saw again against Kokomo on Thursday night, London was able to sort of push down on the accelerator as the game continued and were able to bury their opponents. That seems to be what's happening here as they're up by 19.
Yeah, so that's what I said. I give them a lot of credit, especially with the turnover and personnel as well. Some of their starters not here, especially if they're big that plays in the middle.
Well, again,
and then they started finally focusing on their main player, who we know can get to anywhere he wants on the floor and can shoot very well.
Magnus Richards, who has NCAA experience in Division I with Bingham, not here. Brendan McGee, who has NCAA Division I experience with Pacific, not here. Demario Jones, NCAA experience with Oral Roberts and Cal State Dominguez Hills, not here. Dante Law, who went to Rhode Island College. That is a Division III program, mind you, but he was the 2021 Little East Conference Rookie of the Year, not here. And then I'll mention him again because I miss you, Daniel. Daniel Malamba from Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. At 6'9", he was the leading rebounder with 7+ per game, leading block getter with 1+ per game, not able to come across the border. And we talked about this in 2022, John, with teams like the Lansing Pharaohs and Flint United.
Had the same problem, yeah.
If they're rocking a full deck of cards, do we get a different scoreboard on the board? We never get to answer that question, though.
Well, it's interesting. London's loss was in the States where they had all their players.
To the Albany Patroons, the same Albany Patroons that handed Jamestown their last loss. That was on Sunday, 90-86.
Full court press here. See how London handles this. Haley can throw right over top of it if he wants.
And again, after playing the Newfoundland Rogues of the TBL 4 times already in 2023, Jamestown represents the second of 3 American teams of the TBL to be hosted here at Budweiser Gardens in 2023. They already saw the Kokomo Bobcats on Thursday night and handed them the 103-85 loss. Then they're dominating the Jackals here by 18 with under 3 to go here on your Saturday night. They will then play the Kalamazoo Galaxy in April in back-to-back games. That was originally supposed to be the Glass City Wranglers. And as you were mentioning, John, they will play 1 road game in the US of A. That's against the Syracuse Stallions this month, the last day, Friday, March 31st, in their lone game south of the border. It is interesting to note, though, that supposedly the champion of this league will play the champion of TBL in an international champion. We'll call it Jamboree.
It's a moving screen that time by Young Cooch. Always take
You're
my time.
getting it. You're getting it.
Taking my time on it.
That's
sure
right.
Get it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So.
And like I said, you got to be en français, Jean Couche. As from distance, that's un, deux, trois on the board for Joshua Dominguez, who's got 17 points.
Yeah.
I don't know what 17 is in French.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The lead is 15 right now for Haley and the crew. He gives it down to Burns, tried to bounce pass it to Jean Couch. It's intercepted, though, by Taekwon Gord. Gord's got 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 5 points in this game. Beckford, 360, can't get love off the rim. They battle for the biscuit. Beckford gets it back. This guy won't be denied. He's got a 30-piece on your Saturday night.
He won't be denied is right. He has come alive in this second half.
So remember, London's played the TBL 6 times in 2022, and they had the 5-1 record, beating the Lansing Pharaohs twice, the Flint United twice. They beat the Syracuse Stallions and lost to the Albany Patroons. So far this year, they've played the Newfoundland Rogues 4 times and won all 4 games. One of those games in Newfoundland, though, did go to overtime. But after the 103-85 win over Kokomo on Thursday night, they currently have a 10-1 franchise record against the TBL. They are a $145 away from improving to 11-1 versus the Basketball League.
And yeah, Burns playing a big part of that again. He driving layup and he missed, got his own rebound, got hammered and put it in for an and one.
Burns has 20 points, and so does Jermaine Haley to lead the charge for the boys in yellow. It is Calvin Cheek now with 10 points in the game. He's 4 of 11 from the field.
See that direction by Haley? Just go to the middle of the floor. We'll break this press. See what kind of post moves he's got here.
Coor couldn't get this one off the window.
Went away from the rim instead of to the rim that time.
Tafari Beckford, stutter stepping through midcourt, pulls up the long 2, hits nylon.
He's smooth. He's just, everybody has to back off him a little bit because you get too close to him. He's just around you like a flash.
32-point performance for Beckford. Unfortunately for him, though, the rest of his team is only combined for 51 points, and they trail here by 12 with a $1:08 left on the Budweiser clock. And dare I say, this is the first time I've kind of noticed this, the London faithful trying to beat the traffic home, John. Some stragglers heading towards the exit doors.
Saturday night, where are you going to go? Like, what's there to do? Tomorrow you
Listen,
get to sleep
I
in
got
tomorrow?
one guy telling me it's Saturday night, stay here, and I have another guy telling me it's snowing outside and everybody's in a rush to get home.
Snowing, I guess. Just a light little, but for Canadians, it's a nothing.
Well, I mean, it is late in March. Can we get over this already, though,
yeah,
John?
no kidding, yeah. I hear the golf course in Wardsville's opening up next weekend.
Now, okay, that counts, I guess.
I don't think he really touched it. So.
Okay. Phantom touch by Haley,
yeah, it
and the
looked
ball
like
goes
he was
in.
trying to, but I don't think he ever did touch it.
As trying to jam this one over Jean Couch, and he does. Christian Guest put him on a poster.
That was a pretty good.
Especially when you consider he's going up against the 6'9" South
Sudan
Sudan product.
There was some resistance there. He was just a little too deep under the basket.
Burns loses us at midcourt. He's never crossed the court, John, or did he?
I think he did.
Now he puts up the awkward three. This one grazes the rim. Under 40 seconds to go. Haley steals it away. He'll have his shot blocked. Jean Couch over to Nuga. They'll try and calm it down, or will they?
Oh, my goodness. What was that?
Josh Dominguez clearly didn't mean to do that, though, as he got right, his head, sort of, the crown of his head hit the chest of Burns, and I think both are a little mixed up after that one.
Well, he might not have meant it, but it's what I call a reckless play. So it's not a deliberate one, but still a reckless play. Nobody appreciates that on the floor.
The only thing is Burns has till Wednesday to recover when he takes on the Windsor Express here at home. Dominguez has less than 24 hours as his team's back on the road tomorrow to take on the Titans.
At least it's a short drive for him over to the Kitchener-Waterloo, right? An hour and a quarter at the most.
And remember, the Kokomo Bobcats lost here at Budweiser Gardens on Thursday night, 103-85. Less than 24 hours later, they were in Toledo, Ohio to take on the Glass City Wranglers.
A 5 or 6 hour drive, right?
And they won.
Yeah, good for them.
So maybe, just maybe, that holds well for Jamestown going
Well, and also Jamestown has played, I would say every player on the bench has played fairly significant minutes, even the subs.
So London inching their way closer to the 100-point plateau, but I don't think they're going to get to it here on your Saturday night. However, they have limited the Jackals to just 85 points. They limited the Bobcats to just 85 points on Thursday night.
That'll help their points against average, which is also always nice to have. The whole team's under 100 points. I'm looking at turnovers again. My God, that's a big number. You read it for me.
26 turnovers.
That's a
Yet
big number. It's the same amount as assists.
26-18 are the turnovers, but yet it's 27-24 in favor of London in points off of turnovers.
Yeah, it depends where you turn the ball over and how quickly you get back on defense. But that number cannot be sustained for the rest of the year.
For the second straight game, the London Lightning beat a team from the USA. They beat the Kokomo Bobcats from Indiana on your Thursday night. They beat the Jamestown Jackals from New York State on your Saturday night. It was a dominating 18-point win on Thursday over Kokomo. It's a dominating 13-point win over Jamestown on your Saturday night. And again, Tafari Beckford, what a performance for the Illinois native that went to Davenport. He poured in 32 points, supported by Joshua Dominguez's 17, John, but at the end of the day, Jermaine Haley, in his 2023 debut, set the charge for the Lightning to pull away with the W.
Yeah, we've been talking about him all game. I think he's a terrific return addition to this team from the championship team of last year. He got a cool head on his shoulder. He's got size. He's also got lots of ball handling ability. He's smart, and he plays hard all the time as well.
So going back to Jean Couch, he finishes his debut with the double-double as well, John. 15 points and 12 rebounds for the Juba, South Sudan-born native who played basketball in his basketball academy days, I should say, in his high school era here in London, Ontario.
Yeah, I thought pretty good game from him overall. He sort of looked out of place a little, didn't know where to go a few times, and a couple passes he wasn't ready for. I think as playing time comes along and he gets more familiar with his teammates, his teammates will start looking for him more. He will be a very effective player for them, especially inside.
I'm guessing here, but I think we just caught a very special moment there on camera before they came to us. Jean Couch was hugging a member of his family, I assume there. I was told pregame that despite being